Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we are looking at the Kayfabe Death of Superman from Mark Darden and Marcosis Studios. This is a fan-made, fan-produced comic that was an answer to a call to arms by Jim Rugg and Ed Piskor of Cartoonist Kayfabe fame. They said that they didn't think the Death of Superman was very good. I think a lot of people agree. The biggest event with the worst story. So they put a shout out to the kayfabe community to make a better Death of Superman comic book, and this is an answer to that. And this huge, 100-page plus whopping tome. It's pretty freaking gorgeous. It's got beautiful printing, beautiful colors. The paper stock is just gorgeous. And there is a lot of talent within these pages from the kayfabe community. Beautiful art and great stories brought to you by the kayfabe fans. I don't know if you can see this cover. I hope it shows up. Does that help? It is actually pretty genius. If you know anything about the Death of Superman, one of the biggest laments or jokes about it is they came in these black poly bags that nobody ever wanted to open because they're going to be worth something. And the joke is, of course, they overprinted them. I don't know. It was the 90s, the comics implosion. So these are the original Death of Superman, even in the black poly bag, is basically worth nothing. They touch on that in a little story in the back here, which is interesting. But anyway, I thought it was really genius to sort of incorporate the art into this black. So you almost can't see the art. It almost becomes the black bag itself. So I thought that was a very nice touch. Although I feel bad for the artist because you can barely see his art. And that's the back cover, giving me major Violator vibes. That's so interesting to say that because I was thinking to myself, one of the problems with Doomsday is he's so boring. There's nothing there. He doesn't talk. There's an answer to that in here too. They actually cover a lot of ground. It's a lot of Superman whoop ass. I think one of the big mantras with this book is to just fuck up Superman as much as you possibly can. I mean, I thought this was his dick hanging out at first, but it's his bowels coming out, and that's super gross. Pun intended. It's funny because his eye is popping out a lot, and I guess maybe, I wasn't a fan of the original Death of Superman. I should say that right out. I just thought it was a gimmick. I think it was the beginning of bad things in comic books. It really helped make killing characters trendy, a trend that exists to this day and just has completely lost all the impact. And the thing is, the litmus test is right here. It's if the best story you can think of, for a superhero is by killing them, maybe you should, have better ideas. I don't know. So anyway, they pulled out all the stops. It's a bunch of interwoven short stories, pinups, parodies, and it's a mix of really hardcore action and angst and drama with downright slapstick satire and comedy. So it's a very mixed bag. There's something here for everybody. This fake wrestling ad. It's funny because it's I'm a quasi kayfabe fan. It's I like a lot of the books, and I do watch Jim and Ed's show if I find it interesting. And but I always forget the wrestling attachment. And looking at this book, a lot of the choreography and the fight scenes very much felt like a huge epic wrestling match. Speaking of huge and epic, I feel this is sort of a Death of Superman grand design sort of take, because I was holy panels, Perkins, illustrated by Ben Perkins, one of the most proficient, prolific comic book artists out there. It's crazy to see him doing all these fan projects and stuff. I don't know why he's not working for Marvel or DC. He's very adept, and I don't know, every time I see his socials, he has 5 new pages or some crazy crap like that. So here's a list of all the contributors. I found it an interesting choice to list them in alphabetical order according to their first name, but I kind of like that. And here's the disclaimer: we are not DC Comics. We have nothing to do with them, but they're pretty cool, so check them out. nice tip of the hat there. You know, anything you can do when working on these sort of fan projects. I mean, I should also state that they're not making profit off of this. So it's like, I guess it falls within the rule of, you know, fan fiction, I guess, if you don't like have the name Superman on the cover and you're not making money off of it. I don't know. Kind of bootleg, kind of outlaw, right? So the art just is like the gift that keeps giving. Omak Vera is like heavily present throughout the book. Milo Trent. I thought this was kind of funny because his hand is like right on his crotch, and I don't know, the look on Superman's face says it all. I mean, aside from the fact that he's beating the shit out of him, right? It's amazing like how big this book is and how quickly they put it together. I like this fun art here. It's very like Jeff Matsuda vibes, kind of. See, Kayfabe is like a wealth of like, you know, independent, amateur, self-published, you know, some not amateur, some professional, you know, like the art is all over the place. This is a fun pinup from Ray Whitaker. He always brings the fun to these projects. He's worked on a lot of projects with Mark Darden. I've actually colored him in the past, and I don't know, there's just like such a whimsy and fun to his art that I enjoy. This is touching moment here. It's weird to see all the different art styles like coming together. Like you definitely, I mean, come on, look at this. This is what, like, I feel like this is like what popped into people's mind when they were like, we have a call to arms to kill Superman bigger and better. And like, this piece by Alan Greenwood and Omak Vera very much does that. You know, like I said, I wasn't a fan of the original death of Superman, mostly because I'm a huge Superman fan, and like killing him is the last thing I ever want to see happen. Especially by, I don't know what's going on with Doomsday. Like, he has such a weird design. I was thinking of, remember when John Byrne put him in his Wonder Woman run, because he put like every DC character that he wanted to draw in his Wonder Woman run. And as much of a John Byrne fan as I am, like, I didn't even like his depiction of Doomsday. Like, there's inherently something wrong about the design. Like, even the best, like, okay, Barry Tan here. Love Barry Tan, one of my favorite artists in this sort of indie community. And brought it for sure. Like, that's so gross. Like, that hole in his cheek and everything. But I don't know. I just don't like the design of Doomsday in general. I just have never been a fan of it. Like I said, and there's a story in the back where he's talking and explaining his motivation, which I kind of love that exists. Because, you know, it's like, you know, I guess it's sort of fitting in a way, because it was like such a gimmick back in the day that, like, of course, like somebody without any sort of real substance is going to be the one that kills him. Love Rock'em Sock'em. This is such a fun page here. I really love the art on this. That really pops. This is great classic comic book art right here too. I like the juxtaposition. It goes like super deep indie, you know, to like cartoony, to like hyper detailed. This Omak Vera. Gosh, the printing here is so crazy. Like, I have to smell it. The pages don't, I was hoping for that like sickeningly sweet candy smell, but maybe it's been sitting on my nightstand for too long. I don't know, but the shine on these pages is so much fun. Like, it's almost like embossed. It's so shiny. I really love the art here. And more from Ray Whitaker. Milo Trent always brings the noise to these projects. I mean, this is epic, right? Like, look at that. Like, so much blood. Like, so disgusting. It's so funny, too, because Milo is just, like, I don't know, very versatile as an artist. Because when I think of Milo, I think more of, like, whimsy and just, like, fun and stuff. And to see, like, this horror and carnage is definitely a visual feast, but slightly horrifying at the same time. But it's supposed to be, so mission accomplished. I love the art and this fake like hostess ad here too. I love the colors. It totally looks like it was colored like with markers, and I love that. This, you know, there are moments in here, you know, that are like that's kind of what I like, is like the human moments, you know, like I think that's what Superman is so much about anyway. He's this strange visitor from another planet, but he's, you know, painfully human. It's so funny because like he never spent a day on Krypton, so he's arguably more Earthling than anything else. And they play up that alien thing so much. I love seeing Ice here in her Justice League International costume, all bloodied and beat up. That's pretty art there. I really like the colors on that. Jason Behrens, Colin Crumey, Anthony Andujar, bringing this epic, sweeping 2 pages of carnage here, focusing on the death of Superman. It's so weird, like, I don't know if it comes across in the video, but it actually looks like it's glowing when you look at the art. And then we have another perspective from the same angle by Ariel Paz. It's almost like Braille. Like, the printing is, like, so cool. Milo Trent. I think this is one of the most emotional pieces in the book, and I appreciate... See, this is, you know, if you watch my channel, I talk about art and process and, you know, just, like, the importance... Like, this shows the importance of being able to know how to draw everything. Of course, you know, the bread and the butter or the fun is, like, Doomsday punching the shit out of Superman, but Ma and Pa Kent grieving while watching it on TV with all the, like, memories in the Smallville. Even the nice touch of, like, the hand-painted wallpaper or whatever the hell that is. I really love that. Like, this... Isn't it funny, like, of course, me being me, like, the whole book is, like, you know, kicking the shit out of Superman, and this is my favorite page. It really is. I love it so much. Superman is fucked. This could possibly be my next favorite page, just the juxtaposition of this is kind of funny, like, in a way. It's, like, very jarring. It's, like... Dun, 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 dun. You know, the theme song from The Incredible Hulk is playing, like, your heartstrings are tugged and, like, you're just about to lose your mind, and then Superman is fucked, and you can't help but laugh, right? And they're talking about what to do to dispose of the corpse. I love it because it's equally tribute, but tongue-in-cheek a lot at the same time. And there's some great commentary about the state of Lex Luthor here and, like, kind of what a slimeball he is. This is a great house ad for this. Like, could you imagine if DC would have, like, ran an ad like this back in the day? Like, that would have been freaking exciting. I feel like this is Ben Perkins. It very well could be Ben Perkins. More Anthony Andujar. I mean, you must spend a lot of money on ink, Anthony, because you are spilling it all over these pages, and it is gorgeous. Like, that says apocalypse right there. And Jimmy does say later in the book, or somewhere in the book, about bringing apocalypse to Metropolis, which there's something there. Has that ever happened? Like, somehow... I'm sure it's happened. Like, a boom tube comes to Metropolis, and then the whole city's transformed under a dome or something. I don't know. Could be good, right? I enjoy the work of Peter A. DeLuca and the color of Ichthy 5, Cheryl Quinco, DeLuca, and Omek Vera. I mean, this is so crazy. The colors are gorgeous on this page. It looks exactly almost like a mushroom trip. It is so crazy. Like, the color is, like, just that good. Like, if you could jump into a comic book page, this would be the page you would do it on. Like, the level of dimension on this page is beautiful. Is he dead yet? I mean, how many pages in are we here? A World Without Superman. I mean, they pulled out all the stops as far as, like, the fake newspaper articles, the Hostess ads. I really enjoyed this. I think this is John Ashton Golden. I love his art. This is a fake ad for Superman 3. Bad Movies We Actually Secretly Love presents Superman 3. I think that's great. Milo Trent, Joe Javonsky, great cartoon there. I'm horrified by Crypto being torn in half, but, you know, whatever. It's super cutely drawn, so I'll give him credit for that, even though PETA would be very against this. but screw PETA anyway. The Reign of the Superman by Milo Trent, Peter Hensel, and Mark Darden edits. All right. I mean, that's so great. Like, what a great... This actually, these pages here by Milo are pretty freaking amazing. Like, I wish they were all almost, like, full pages. So fun, right? That is really fun. I don't know. Great imagination, Milo. This is really beautiful here. I love the art on that. Like, the monochrome is so cool, and, like, the white highlights, I don't know, just really pop. I love that. This also is fun. I think this is the one, Mark Darden wrote this, and the art is by Doom Tripper. And this is sort of like explaining Doomsday's motivation and rhyme or reason or whatever, and it's really fun. And I do like the art, or the lettering too. I like that font. That's cool. This panel cracked me up because it really looks like he ripped his head off, which maybe he did at that point. I don't know. And this, I don't know, it's so much fun. Like, I just love the facial expressions, and I don't know, like, I just think this is a very successful page and panel here. I think it's really cool and fun. I love it. And the guts, I don't want to see guts because poop is inside. Alfred E. Newman, hilarious. I like this page too. That's really nicely done. Christian Meha, beautiful art. Another nice monochromatic Red Sun Superman piece. Beautiful art. This is a fun page here. This reminds me of, remember that great comic back in the day, Wednesday Comics, like with the big tabloid format with the sweeping like strips across the page. This feels very much in line with that, and I'm a huge fan of that book, so I was very happy to see that. Also very happy to see the Justice League Satellite Tower and the beautiful art by John Ashton Golden. Very classic looking here. Very cool. Very fun. I would love to see you draw a Super Friends comic book. This is fun and interesting. See, this is, I feel, one of the places where we go into the indie deep dive. Written and illustrated by Michael C. Spell. Really cute, fun art. I mean, this book is huge. You're definitely going to get your money's worth. I like this story. This is the story I was referring to about how they're talking about how the Tony Sidani is talking about getting his uncle's comic book collection, and his uncle saying he's going to retire on this death of Superman, and him passing it on to his cousin, younger cousin, and then just never being able to let go of the death of Superman, and finally opening it to realize something that I don't want to spoil because I really liked how this story ended. So you're just going to have to buy it yourself. By the way, I'm going to put a link to where you can purchase this for yourself. If there are any proceeds made, I think they go to the Make More Comics Fund. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They go to, I think this is William Messner Loeb's. A nice piece by Anthony Andihar Jr. It's funny because, you know, it's like, I feel like a lot of the people involved with this hopefully, like, had a real love and, like, attachment to the death of Superman, which pieces like this show that they do. Here's a nice little pinup gallery featuring some really fun art. John Campbell, Marvin Law, Manuel Loza, Dustin Tyree, who I think also drew the cover. That is, I love the coloring there. That is very cool. Alex Burns, John Campbell. I mean, the art here is just nonstop. Oh, sketchbook section. If you know anything about my channel, you know I live for stuff like this. It's really fun to see Milo Trent's pencils, inks, like, so good, right? I mean, can we get an artist edition of the Kayfabe Death of Superman? So sadly, you know, after this call to arms, Jim and Ed have yet to review this for their channel, but I usually scoop them on things like that, so you should be seeing their coverage of this in the next couple of days. You know, they're a little slow on the uptake, but, you know, they'll finally get there. Let's see. Little afterword by Mark. Concept sketch from page 39. John Campbell. That's really cool. And then, what else? else? Contributors and where to find them. Okay, so that's nice if you want to find the socials of all the people involved in the book, since it's a fan project, so they're just donating their time. And then we have, I feel this must be Ben Perkins again. This is like some sort of origin of Doomsday, which makes the character way more exciting than his entire, like, whole initial introduction back in the 90s. Very cool. This is very grand design, right, guys? Okay, so John Bishop does the inside back cover, and this is easily one of my favorite pages of the whole book. If the concept of the cover weren't so genius, like, I feel like this would have made it a great alternate cover. It is beautiful. I love it. I think it is so imaginative. I don't think I've ever seen anything done quite like that, which it possibly could have, you know, since homages are, you know, quite popular, but I don't know. If it's unique, it's so cool, and hats off to you. Hats off to everyone involved in this book. It is, like, the fact that it is so well done in such a short amount of time. And an answer to a call to arms. Like, who does that? Crazy, right? I guess Mark Darden and Marcosis Studios. So hats off to all the creators involved. This is a really cool book. You want to mitigate the MichaelFitzTroytv effect and follow the description link to purchase your copy. It'll go to a good cause. And plus, it's a fun ass book full of gorgeous art. So get it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I'll bring you more soon.